What is up, everybody? Welcome to my SummerSlam 2024 predictions. Uh, this is going up pretty late, pretty close to the show. Well, I don't know the exact time, but I was hoping it would go. I was hoping to do this on Friday, but I did not have the time to. But it is time to let's just get right into it. Get right into the predictions. I'm going to go based on just how this list here has them organized. In terms of the match order. This is not the order I think they'll take place, but whatever. The opening match that we have listed here is LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. This one, pretty simple. LA Knight, it's his time, finally, to win some gold in the WWE, defeating Logan Paul in his hometown that doesn't claim him of Cleveland, Ohio. They had a great segment last night on SmackDown. Super good. Simple, clean cut. LA Knight has to win here, otherwise I think this is just a must win. Otherwise he's just he's done. I have no hope for him in the future if he loses here today. Next up we have the Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. Again, I think we're getting another new champion here in Braun Breaker. I think we can't have him losing. He already lost his very first PLE match, and a match that did not portray him the way he's been shown on TV. Losing to one haluva kick was just like, I don't know, I'm all for protecting finishers, but that was one case where I think he should have kicked out. He did not come out looking very good out of Money in the Bank. They rebuilt him back to where he was. Don't knock him back down again, otherwise what's the point of giving us this rematch? And also, I think it's time for Sami to drop the championship. He does not fit being a long title reign person, and he seems like he's going to be put into a tag team title picture in the future after this because of the fact that him and Jay pinned the tag team champions a couple weeks ago. So I think it's time to put the belt on Breaker, and it is time to take the belt off of Sami, especially with people starting to turn on him. But anyway, next up we have the Women's World Championship match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. I have Liv Morgan to win here. I think this is when Dirty Dom shows the side that he actually picks and sides with and screws over his former mommy, Rhea Ripley, and it leads to Liv Morgan winning. But obviously we all know this isn't the end. We're going to get a Hell in a Cell match or something at Bad Blood or something like that. And it could even lead all the way to Mania or something. I don't know. But this is not the last time they face off, I don't think. Next up, we have the WWE Women's Championship match between Bayley and Nia Jax. I have Nia Jax to win here. I do not think Tiffany's cashing in. Well, we all knew they were going to give Tiffany a new briefcase last night, and I don't think there's any way they give her a new briefcase just to cash it in the next day. And I really don't want her to cash in this fast. She just won the briefcase. We haven't had a woman hold it past SummerSlam since the very first Miss Money in the Bank with Carmella. And I think Tiffany is the perfect person to have a long time with the briefcase. I don't know how long, but at least a decent length. Not be somebody who cashes in quickly. So the fact that currently the second longest women's briefcase run we have is a month with EO last year. We need to get that average up, especially since we lost the men's briefcase. I do not think Tiffany's cashing in. She may make an attempt, and that might be somehow what leads to Nia winning. But I think Nia's walking out, and there's a story to be told with the Women's World Champion, or the WWE Women's Champion, and the Miss Money in the Bank being best friends. I think there's a dynamic story to be told there. Next up, we have the World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Gunta. I have Gunta to win here. I think it is. I think he's taken the title. I'm not as confident as I used to be, because I also see a world where they wait to have Damian drop the belt until he has a match with Finn Balor. After him and Finn Balor inevitably have a falling out. And that could be how they finally put a world title back on Finn. But let's be honest, WWE seems to have shown that they have no interest in putting a world title on Finn Balor ever again. And I think Gunta is just the person to do it. I have heard people saying that he may lose here, but then win it at Bash in Berlin, which does make sense, but I'm going to pick for him to win here. I still think there's a very real chance that he faces somebody like Ilya Dragunov, depending on how they determine the number one contender for Bash in Berlin. Maybe they'll just have a rematch. But I know Gunther's got to be in the main event of Bash in Berlin, that's for sure. And either way, it definitely involves him in the world title picture. I'm not super confident in my pick, not as confident as I was coming out of Money in the Bank, but I still think Gunta's going to take it. Next up, I have Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins. I have no idea for this one. I've been going back and forth. I can't make up my mind, because it's like Punk has screwed over Drew so many times. Drew sort of got one back whenever he beat the living crap out of Punk in Chicago on SmackDown. Excuse me. Still a bit tired. And he left him laying, and that's when he stole the bracelet. But outside of that, it's just been Punk getting one over on Drew over and over and over again. Some may say it is time for Drew to get his one over on Punk, and I do see a world where that happens. But at the same time, like, depending on what their plan is for the Mania match, because this rivalry between these three is someone going to go to Mania. In my opinion, I think the match is a triple threat at Mania. The three of them. I think that's where it goes, not just Seth Punk. But I'm not going to die on that hill. I do think there's a chance that Seth screws over Punk, because Seth says he hates them both equally. I don't think that's true. I think he hates Punk more, because he doesn't have as much of a reason to hate Drew. Like, at the end of their WrestleMania match, he said, "You deserve it," or to put it simply, he says, "You deserve it," to him, as if he didn't really hate him that much. Whereas Punk, he has a personal hatred for. Drew, like Drew said on Raw, his rivalry with Seth has been purely in the ring and professional. That's not the case with Punk. So I could see Seth screwing Punk over, and then they start their rivalry after this. But I also, this is Punk's first televised match on televised singles match on WWE TV in 10.5 years. His first televised singles match since he came back. And are they really going to have him lose what's essentially his first match? And I can also see a world where it continues to just piss off Drew. Drew is going to have some other excuse, some other way of being screwed out of it. That leads to another Drew-Seth match, maybe at Bash in Berlin. And then having another match with Punk, maybe inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. I don't know. Because I also don't think this, as I said before, I don't think this rivalry is ending here. I don't know who I'm going to pick. I think Uh, I keep going back and forth. I don't know. I really don't know. Tell you what, I'm gonna. I don't know. It's so hard. I'm trying to think what I see happening going forward, because that's usually what my predictions are based on, is where I see the story going. And I see it leading to whoever loses facing Seth at Bash in Berlin, and then there being some other match that's a combination of these three. Whether it be just two of them or whatever. Any two of them. At Bad Blood. I'm gonna go with Punk, I guess. I don't know. It could be true, but I already said Punk. Punk is locked in. I'm not confident at all in that one. On top of the great build this has had, the other thing I was going for it is that nobody has any clue who's going to win. But anyway, heading into the main event, we got Cody versus Solo for the undisputed WWE Championship. I got Cody here. I don't think Solo is winning the championship. And I do think we get the return of the real tribal chief, Roman Reigns, to end off the show. And that's why this is the main event. And it is the WWE title, so it makes sense for it to be the main event. But I still, yeah. I think we're getting Roman Reigns. This is the stage to do it. There's no other true stadium show after this until Royal Rumble, unless you count Crown Jewel, and I do not want Roman returning at Crown Jewel, and I don't want him returning at an arena show. Stadium show is where you can really get that big stage, and I think this is where we kick off the Roman Solo story that will inevitably lead to Old Bloodline versus New Bloodline at Survivor Series War Games in Vancouver. So, those are my predictions. Let me know what you think down below. Which ones do you think I got wrong? Which ones do you think I got right? Or if you're watching this after SummerSlam for some reason, let me know how I did. Because I really don't know for that Drew Punk one, but I said Punk, so that's who I'm going with, I guess. So, thank you everybody for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and goodbye.